What's up, everybody? What's up? Jack D. Ripper, my man. It's like my favorite channel. Subscribe to Jack D. Ripper. If I knew how to drop the link, I would, man. Um, David, what's up? Jim Terry's very funny. Dominic, what's going on, my man? Wyatt, you're here. What's up, Wyatt? There's a few more people get in here. I dropped the link for us, Stone Sailor. Yeah, we got some things to talk about today. We're going to talk about what's going on in the community. Also, a little bit about the trolls and what's going on. But I got something that came out. What's up, Stone Sailor?
Yo, what's up, Eric?
So something that came out earlier. What's up, Chris? On Big Meech and the 50 Cent thing. 1090 Jake just put out a video, and I'm gonna play a little bit of that, and then we can break that down about the snitch stuff or whatever. This is the most information that's came out. You know what I mean? So we could, us in the chat, it's still not, how do I say this? Still not nothing concrete either which way. But we'll get in there when some people get in here, and what's up, Sloth? And we'll talk a little bit about yesterday. Yesterday was fun. They also
it was fun.
I don't know. Angel show was public last night. I don't know if people caught that.
Yeah, I caught JT up there. I caught him up there. He was
well, actually, the girl, I think her name's Girl Ryan or whatever, the one who was
Girl Ryan. Sounds like her.
Yeah, she was saying, "What's up, Bob?" She was saying all this stuff, about the dead kid and stuff. Come to find out, she did the same thing to somebody else.
And she was stealing. And she was stealing. She admitted it. Yeah, come on. You have no credibility.
Hang on. I'm not going to go against her either, because what I think's happening is they were over in whatever community, and these people were like how this community is over here. What's up, Satchio? Delta 88. And they do them horrible things to each other. You know what I mean? So
even
shock. It's like a
even
shock.
Angel made a comment and said, "Your community is worse than ours." She said something like that.
Way worse. So I think I'm gonna cut over here this community with everybody, both sides. I'm gonna cut a little slack because I think people and I think the other side's starting to realize that's a really crazy fucking un-PC community. There's a lot of stuff that's went on over there. There's a lot of history. Just like I've gotten into stuff over here, and I don't know the history over here. You know what I mean? Now the history is quicker.
It was comical though to see the two communities like merge. It's like two separate insane asylums, one from California, one from New York, and they just like merged the yard and put them all together.
And another thing, man, it was just like I was looking and I'm like, when the guy Jim was on actual panel with Girl Ryan or whatever, it sounded like they were married.
Oh yeah, that was like, they were like, it's like Jim has like
she did not sound like a grieving mother. She was like
an ex-wife.
No, I did not.
Crazy. Oh man, they sound like they were ex-wife, like it was a divorced couple that just
I think they were all friends.
Yeah, sure. You could tell they were all had some kind of stuff that was closer.
Same thing that happened over here.
Yeah, a lot of similarities, of course.
And then with the trolling stuff, you know what I mean? Like I'm just starting to figure out what the trolling stuff is, man. I didn't know what it was at first myself. And over here, okay, you've got the trolls, the troll army, or whatever, and they say that that's what they are and stuff. So, they don't go as far as what they do over there. Just put it that way. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's just like, so it's a lot more. It's a big shock to this community.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Good afternoon.
As crazy as it sounds, we're more civilized here than they are. As crazy as it sounds.
Yes. When I seen that last night, because I'm like this. And every time I've seen one of these people who've accused him or whatever, then they got a bunch of shit on them and they did the same type of things. And, trolling him, or this one did this. They've all got some type of past together. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this, Sailor. This is what I learned at a young age. When you see family members fighting or, anything like that, you don't want to get in the middle of it. You know what I mean? Because they'll beat you up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it's like sort of that situation, you know.
Yep.
But what do you think about it? So you saw the show or whatever. So there wasn't.
I
Some people are upset. I think her show's better, honestly.
I think it's better. Yeah, I think it's better.
More
She was
Blake.
up there. It was kind of like she was up there, and she was like a Judge Judy, and they had this couple. They're arguing over something, and she's trying to be like. You could tell she didn't know who these people were, and then what's her name? The one that
Characters.
stole
Buffalo Mom. There's Buffalo Mom is who Private Girl. What's her name? Girl Ryan. Girl Ryan.
That's it. Girl Ryan.
Buffalo Mom with her dead child's initials or something on
Yes.
on the anniversary of the baby's death.
Yes. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So it's like, whoa. And then I'm like, holy shit.
And she wants Angel's email number. She wants Angel's email address. Angel's not giving it to her because they don't want to get bombarded.
I would listen.
No, I wouldn't either.
I would let Girl Ryan come on a panel or something like Angel did.
Yeah, but I don't want her sending me emails every day.
These people, listen, they go out for blood over there.
Yeah. I would tell her, here, call a psychiatrist.
I like some of their community, though. I like some of the characters.
Some of them were cool. Honestly, it was very entertaining just to sit back and watch the two insane asylums mingle. You know, it really was.
And then I like just like Watch Her Crazy. I like Watch Her Crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I don't.
Like I told Jim, I don't give a fuck if Watch Her Crazy, who she lives with. And all. We don't even do that shit over here. We don't do that dumb shit. Oh, there's Watch Her Crazy. What's up?
There's Watch Her.
Yeah, so like we don't do that kind of shit. And like she fits it. Like I told him though, personally in a conversation, I said, bro, listen, the problem is she fits into my community, this type of community.
Yeah.
She don't fit into that other shit, man. Where your son's in jail. No shit. That's what we talk about over here.
I mean, you know, my dad was in prison doing life. I became a corrections officer. I went in the military. Just because someone's kid's in jail don't mean they're a scumbag. That's that, you know, you can't paint everybody with a brush.
What's up, Sam the Man? Sam the Man's been enjoying this shit.
Yo, Sam's been, I see Sam everywhere.
Yeah, Sam the Man, he just likes the entertainment, man.
Look, as far as I'm concerned about Watch Her, she shot somebody. She's good enough with me. She's good with me.
That gun, we know that.
She's a shooter. She'll pull the trigger. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, she's gonna pop that pistol. That's a fact.
Yep, you know she'll pull the trigger. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, so yeah, all that shit, man. It's just going. Yeah, it's just like I don't see like I'm starting to lighten up on the way I'm looking at. Chris, what's up, man?
Chris, was that Capella?
Yeah, Chris Capella. Yeah, I'm
big dog.
Lighting up myself on this shit. I'm like looking back, and I'm like, and then I'm even looking over here, man. Okay, like okay, let's talk about yesterday. What's up, Jesse?
Jesse.
So I'm even looking over here, like okay, yesterday when Tony SoFlo came over and got into the argument with JT. See, here's what happened. He didn't even know what the show was about. And he came over arguing because somebody texted him and says,
somebody told him, get on there. They're talking about you. Yep.
What's up, Rob? That's the people who cause problems. And sometimes we just watch little clips, or some people watch little clips.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's been a lot of confusion also over on this side. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, honestly, in this last month, because of the dog being my dog being sick and stuff like that, really, you know, I've had to sit there with my dog basically. So I've been able to catch up on a lot of stuff. And I go back and I'm like, Jesus, this was really going on over here. You know what I mean? Now this is tame compared to their communities.
Yeah. It is.
Listen, this community's talking about somebody jumping FPS. That community's got Watch Her Crazy shooting people. You see what I'm saying? We are not the same. They go hard over there.
Yeah. Yeah, they go hard with dead relatives and all kinds of shit. They come out.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing.
Now, yesterday, if you notice, when Tony came on with JT, it went sideways first. And then at the end, it was all respect. It was all respect around. Everybody was cool. So it started off rough, but it ended good.
That's what the guy does. It makes content. And, you know, with Tony, but see, a lot of what comes from Tony is from the abuse that he's taken for 3 years. You know what I mean? Because there is
Yeah.
certain things, man. Like, why call people?
It is.
Why do that?
Well, when they go after your wife and harass, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of scars, man. You got a
Yeah.
lot of anger and shit.
Yeah, so these people really hate each other. I could see
Only human.
yeah, I could see how that gets there, man. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like this. Like I said, I believe this. If you're a faceless troll or whatever, or whatever, and you're interjecting yourself in these fights with people, like, you know what I mean, and talking, and you know, and you get discovered, then yeah, I'm glad you got doxxed. But I don't want to see people get you know, their families contact. No, that's all ratting. That's all ratting to me. You know what I'm saying? That's all rat shit, honestly. You know, and it's too much. You know what I mean? It's too much, you know. But as for like, but if a person is sitting there fucking with somebody, I believe this. If you're going to come fuck with me and bother me when I don't bother you, I want to find out who you are. You know what I mean? And then go at you. You know, so I see it like that. So, but if a person's just chilling and, you know, has a difference of opinion or something and is in your chat or something, I don't believe nobody should dox them or anything.
No, that's not what this is about. You know, if you're coming after people as a faceless troll and you're doing stuff like that, you deserve to get doxxed.
Yeah. And the thing is, also what I think is 2 troll armies are linked up in this. You know what I mean? Because they got like a little troll army over there.
They got their own version of the troll army. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The difference is between the troll army over here and troll army over there. The troll army over there likes to come up with the good. They got a lot of material because they come up with these victim stories. Oh, talk to this one. You know, this one really did. You know what I mean?
I know.
Over here is more of
I think 2025 with this merger of the 2 insane asylums is going to be entertaining, Eric.
Yeah, because it's 2 different styles too.
Yeah, two different insane asylums. So we're going to merge them and we're going to see what comes out of it. There's going to be beefs and shit that are going to happen between that community and people here. There's going to be cross wars. This is just the surface of it.
This is just the beginning.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of headbutting going on.
Yes.
You know, that's just, so it's just wild, man. It's funny though. Like I said, and it's 2 different. It's interesting because it's 2 different styles. I noticed the troll army over here does that. They'll like put your heads on things and they'll like try to joke a motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. They're cracking on motherfuckers and shit. The troll army over there is coming up. Oh my god, they're so abusive. You know what I mean? So they're like doing that shit. So it's a weird combination. You know what I mean?
It's crazy because I didn't think there was any community like us out there. Come to find out, it is a small world, Robert. And it's like Bizarro. Like Bizarro world, you had Superman and then you had the complete opposite. Like, you know, we got these 2 crazy communities that just happen to gravitate to one another. Now you're going to see beefs that are going to emerge from this, from people from our community and their community. Is going to be a whole new group of beefs and we'll be reacting on it and just having a good time.
I agree with you, Rob. Rob made a good comment. That's why he's always used his own name. If you should be held accountable for what you say, you shouldn't say it. I agree.
I agree, Rob. That's the same way I came. I mean, I'm the Stone Sailor, but everybody knows my name's Rob Farlow. I never tried to hide it.
You know, there's so many communities like this out here. But yeah, Ducks, that's like that community that's just came over here. That's a serious one. It's all crazy shit. Their shit makes this look tame, Ducks. I don't know. What's up, my man? Drunk Jose, what's going on? Oh, I didn't know about this, Jesse. See, I don't know a lot of history over here. It said the ladies community collided over here or something.
Yeah, it did. It did happen. Last year, you had the ladies community kind of spilled into MobTube and it started a beef. And then the kind of ladies community kind of went back to their own and neutral corner. But I think it's going to be different with this community because, you know, you're going to have a whole lot of nuts gravitate to other nuts.
One thing I'm going to give that community troll army credit on, they'll grab that link. And they'll show
they do grab the link though. Yes, you're right.
And they'll grab that link. You know what
she did. You're right.
Yes, so they will do that now. They will do that and they will be there.
Which is more than I could say for this troll army that never want to grab the link or show their face or do anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, it's 2 different styles. You know, this troll army is more about joking people and making fun of people. That one's more about grabbing,
Finding,
and getting the fight kicked off. They're just
yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be entertaining when this year these two communities are gonna merge, and it's going to be funny. I can see the communities merging now because a lot of people signed up for Angel Show, and then we got people over here from there. We're going to attract and I like it. More people, the better. Everyone brings a different perspective. It's going to be funny.
I don't think you're ugly watcher crazy. She
no.
said she's ugly motherfucker. Nah.
Oh, stop.
But a watcher crazy shows her face. She don't care. So
no, she don't care.
Yeah, so it's just funny, you know what I mean? But her
somebody said something yesterday that Watch Her Crazy was in love with me. I said she's got good taste. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. Just one thing about it, don't get slick with her. She'll bust your ass. She'll put one in your ass. You know what I mean?
I don't need another one of those.
You know what I mean? Well, you don't know Watcher that good yet. All we know about Watcher is she bangs that gun. You know what I mean?
That's all I need to know.
That's all you need to know.
That's it.
Yeah. That shit's funny, man. But yeah, so like 1090 Jake. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Yeah, see if we can pull that up. Let me
see it. iDubbbz fat and I don't want to say that word. I don't mind iDubbbz.
Is that really iDubbbz or a troll?
That ain't really iDubbbz.
Oh, okay, all right.
I used to think it was. That's why I didn't like iDubbbz. I'm serious.
He doesn't come in here, I guess, iDubbbz.
I'm not sure. Hang on, let me get this.
You could come in if you want, iDubbbz. No one's gonna fuck with you.
Oh, hang on. No, I'll put an end of sentence. That's his thing. Hang on. There we go. Go to his shit. Okay, here we go. Right here, I got it. Let me come back over here. Do this right, guys. Present. Share screen. Right. Go over there. So over here. Over here. Share. Can you see that, Sailor?
Yeah, I see it. Big Meech, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna play this. Remember, this is 1090 Jake's video, and so all credits go out to this, out to him.
Fair use.
We're doing this for educational purposes, obviously. The real shit.
The show would premiere in 2021, 2 years after.
Let me get down to prior round.
Longer a credible informant. That and the fact that it was discovered, she.
Hang on.
Guys after. And in the end, Blue would get the final laugh as his name remained the head. He would make it clear that Big Meech's choice wouldn't affect just him, but also his son and the existence.
Hang on, this might not even be the right one.
Videos together. Immediately, the internet knew 50 was gonna react, and he didn't disappoint. 50 would post a picture of a rat saying, "I think I'm Big Meech." Now, many were initially confused as to who he was dissing, but it seems more likely that 50 was dissing Rick Ross as he was quoting Ross's own song. But then again, the caption would read, "His biggest mistake he ever made was not sustaining his relationship with Tammy Cohen's. Her tell-all documentary reveals the truth." Tammy Cohen's was once a business partner and close friend of Big Meech, but according to federal paperwork, became a federal informant. Ross would clap back at 50 with a post of his own, and of course he promoted his car show, which is believed to be the reason he linked with Meech in the first place. See, Ross isn't dumb. Meech being in prison for the last 17 years is a decent excuse, while Ross knew exactly what he was doing. Ross wanted to link with Meech, knowing the controversy it would start up, so he could then promote his upcoming car show.
Makes
But
sense.
the effect in doing so would leave Meech in a worse position than what he came home to. 50 would start dropping bombs, even posting texts from Lil Meech that read, "They just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram, and now you're managing Skilla Baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first when you didn't have a clue who he was. Now you're mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty. I'm human. I go through my own shit, but I never switched up on
This
you.
caused a lot of
Fuck
shit.
Ross. But he gave my dad some bread so he could afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. This internet shit is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life." 50 would reply with, "What next season?" 50 would make it clear that Big Meech's choice wouldn't affect just him, but also his son and the existence of the BMF show. After all, how could 50 continue a show based on a rat? While the Black Mafia family was pushing kilos of cocaine, BMF Entertainment was a music business used as a front to launder money.
They were
The
making
label
big
would
money.
promote several hip-hop artists, but Blue Da Vinci would be the only artist actually signed to BMF. Roughly 150 BMF members would be indicted, but Blue would be free for more than a year before finding himself taken down by the feds. The BMF rapper was accused of doing nothing more than loading and unloading cocaine from vehicles and counting money from stash houses in Atlanta. Blue would eventually be sentenced to 5 years and 4 months in federal prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release. In recent years, BMF members would accuse Blue Da Vinci of having snitched in the case. One of those men will be none other than Dexter Sosa Hussey. Having served 12 years for trafficking and money laundering, Sosa was the head of logistics for BMF as he took on the responsibility of managing loads of 150 kilos at a time and transporting them across the country. Sourced directly from the cartel, Sosa would study maps, routes, and familiarize himself with the areas in which he trafficked. He'd even go as far as learning which times of day police were most active.
Oh shit! Hang on for a second. Hang on for a
In
second.
a way, it ends where it begins.
Very insightful.
Thank you for sharing this Red Baron with us, Linda. It's
Hang on. I messed that up. Hang on. Give me a second. Now I wanted to talk about that real quick. What they just said about him. I'm gonna put the video right back up. But I wanted to talk about what they just said about that dude Sosa who's taking the 150 bricks across the country. It was actually there was a few guys like him because Big Meech and them they were getting around 1,000 bricks at a time. So like this isn't like how Supreme and them were getting 10 and people were getting 20 and shit. So they really did have a big operation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah, let me bring this back on again. Hang on. Let me do that because I messed up. I tried to pause it and I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? So let me get back over here. YouTube. Bang on. End of sentence. Go back to that. And go back down to where we were at. All right, come back over. All right.
Him a window to take advantage of through different time zones across the country. A calculated operator, Sosa would take the Vlad TV speaking on Blue Da Vinci.
Well, did Blue Da Vinci cooperate or no?
Yeah, he cooperated. I mean, I didn't see it. It was in Miss Mara Shalhoub's book, where his own lawyer said, "Yeah, if there was anything else that we could do, Your Honor, to help you along with this case, my client would be more than willing to cooperate with you all to help you in this investigation." But now the thing of it is by you admitting what was done, you know what I'm saying, you what you done or whatever. But bottom line is, you know, you didn't take the single plea. You went in and was giving them information on shit that they already had and thought it was cool, but you still, you know, that was part of that. You just confirmed other shit that the other CIs just done told. Plus, you did a smack video prior to that was giving them the whole fucking play. They never knew nothing about it. That smack video was detrimental in finding out who each person was.
What Sosa was referring to would be written out in Blue Da Vinci's sentencing transcripts. Blue was being called up in court, and as he made his way to the podium, his lawyer stated to the judge, "As he's coming up, Your Honor, I did leave one thing out. You had asked some of the other defendants whether or not they cooperated. Mr. McKnight, aka Blue Da Vinci, was one of the individuals who did attempt to cooperate. He was debriefed by the government, but basically he didn't know anything that was useful against the remaining defendants." So Blue Da Vinci's lawyer would essentially be the one who exposed Blue did attempt to cooperate and was debriefed by the feds. Blue would then tearfully give a statement in court before being sentenced to 5 years and 4 months. But did he actually snitch? It's clear as day that he attempted to, but none of the information he provided was of any use or could be used against anyone. Sosa would accuse Blue of confirming things other informants had already stated, so while he technically wasn't making things worse, he definitely wasn't making them better, and he only did so to secure a lesser sentence. At one point, Big Meech would accuse Blue of snitching, but according to Blue, Meech would apologize after. And in the end, Blue would get the final laugh as his name remains stained, but it would be Blue that dropped the paperwork on Big Meech. Blue would do an interview with Cam Capone back in 2023, providing the paperwork exposing Tammy Cohen's. Tammy was Big Meech's assistant. With Meech already taken down by the feds, Tammy would seemingly prove her loyalty by remaining in contact with Meech through calls and letters. With years in prison ahead of him, Meech would make a risky business move by signing over his life rights to Tammy. This now meant Tammy owned the life story of Big Meech and could turn it into millions. But this wasn't the only business move Meech made. While in jail, Meech met a cartel member by the name of Fidel Suarez. Suarez owned and operated a trucking company in California and had been investigated/arrested without conviction for drug trafficking in 2005 and 2009.
We'll pause that real quick. The Suarez guy, see, a lot of people are getting it confused with the Rayful Edmonds situation. When Rayful Edmonds set up the Colombian guy from Lewisburg, he was actually still in prison. But this Suarez guy, they had met in like a county jail or whatever, and he was home when all this was set up. So just keep that in mind.
Meech would use Tammy to connect Suarez with a lifelong friend named Dion Gatling, who's more commonly known as the St. Louis drug lord Cuffy. Tammy would bridge the gap for further drug distribution, but what Cuffy and Suarez didn't know was she was a confidential informant and was reporting everything to the feds. CS1, or confidential source number 1, has been identified as Tammy Cohen's. Paperwork would state she first became a confidential informant for the Atlanta DEA back in 2009, where she provided information in a money laundering case that resulted in the successful prosecution and conviction of another Atlanta kingpin legend named Terry White.
Damn.
It's believed that Terry White grew up in an Atlanta housing project. But when FBI and GBI agents arrested him last night, he was living here, a sprawling $200,000 mansion in Jonesboro. The 27-year-old was in the process of renovating his home, which features an outdoor swimming pool, a full-length basketball court, and more.
Had a media room where there were 24 TV sets on one wall hooked to a satellite dish. And you could hit a button and all 24 TVs would come on.
Agents seized the home and 3 cars which belonged to White, including this $110,000 Rolls Royce, which was paid for in cash. But there was more to be found inside, $47,000 cash and a machine to count the money. thousands in gold jewelry and mink coats, a small catch of ammunition and weapons, including a loaded Uzi semi-automatic pistol.
The feds would note Tammy Cohen's was an unusual informant, as she had no criminal record, was not a known drug user, did not appear motivated by money, and was not looking to get a reduced prison sentence or charges dismissed. Instead, she appeared motivated by revenge, as Terry White had her unknowingly laundering money for him. Tammy Cohen's was not initially a paid informant, but an agent would put her in for an award that would be a percentage of the property seized in the case. Tammy would receive a total of $55,000 for putting away.
Hey, if you live in one of these cities right here, why don't you own an apartment building? Seriously, let me show you a path that could absolutely change your life.
Terry White. When Tammy Cohen's became a confidential informant, she'd already been a longtime friend and associate of Big Meech. Specifically, she held the life rights of Big Meech, and in 2011, Meech requested her help in coordinating a delivery of cocaine through Suarez. Meech told Tammy he met Suarez while inside of a county jail in Michigan, and as time went on, Meech would ask her to connect Suarez with Cuffy. So she'd reported to the feds that Meech had her coordinate a cocaine delivery in 2011 while Meech was in prison. But for some reason, Meech would never face an indictment for her allegations. At a later evidentiary hearing, Tammy would deny that Meech had any involvement with drug trafficking activities between Suarez and Cuffy. She'd also deny Meech directed her to connect them.
Give me a minute.
And now the feds were starting to believe Tammy Cohen's was no longer a credible informant. That, and the fact that it was discovered she was sleeping with the federal agent assigned to her. So what would make her start covering up for Meech? Wiretaps would reveal Cuffy's alleged involvement in the murders of 2 individuals cooperating with law enforcement, and along with Tammy providing information on him drug trafficking, Cuffy would be indicted in 2014. Cuffy's legal team would file motions that would leave Tammy Cohen's panicking. At this time, nobody knew she was an informant, and Tammy saw information within Cuffy's motion that she believed would allow people close to the case to identify her. The DEA agent controlling her would testify in court that she expressed concern over the motions and that she panicked and took several measures to try to protect herself. Apparently, Tammy drove several hours to Louisiana in an attempt to visit Big Meech in federal prison to explain her position and try to deflect any accusations. So essentially, she was seeking Meech's advice on how to handle being exposed as a confidential informant. It's believed she wasn't able to visit him, but when she did speak with him, Big Meech told Tammy he didn't want his name caught up in this mess. Nothing is said about Meech being shocked, surprised, or angry, and finding out his assistant, who he trusted with his life rights, was now working with the feds. He just didn't want his name being brought up, showing that he knew. To further protect herself and Meech, Tammy would state the wiretaps contained false information. She was now saying that Meech never connected Suarez to Cuffy, and that the DEA agent Tammy was having sex with was jealous of her relationship with Meech and was trying to frame him. The feds would quickly realize Tammy was no longer credible, and due to the fear of being exposed, she was now attempting to distance Big Meech from Suarez and Cuffy. In 2019, at the age of 53, Cuffy would be sentenced to 27 years in prison for drug trafficking and use of firearms in furtherance of drug trafficking.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, so Sailor, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Basically what I'm getting so far, I'm gonna play a little bit more, is this. All right, this chick has sat here and she became the informant, you know what I mean? She was mad at the dude or whatever. And basically what's happening is they do pay these informants. You know what I mean? A lot of times, like we're talking over here, like you see that she wasn't in trouble, nothing like that. Now, here's the question. Did Big Meech know? Because as the video goes on, she wound up asking for, in transcripts, for a time cut for Big Meech. It came out in an evidentiary hearing. You know what I'm saying? So that with his knowledge, that's going to be the main thing. That's going to be what's going on. That's going to be the main thing.
Well, it seems like Tammy was screwing everybody, screwing Meech, screwing the DEA agent.
I want to talk about that. I think she was in love with Big Meech, though. You know, and there's a lot.
Well, but she was banging. See, in my opinion, there's a code of conduct. If you're an FBI or a DEA agent, you got a confidential informant. If you sleep with that confidential informant, in my opinion, you should be fired, because that is a complete. You just poisoned the whole fucking case, in my opinion.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna get back into it.
I think, yeah.
I'm gonna get right back into it real quick.
Resulting in death. Fast forward to 2024. Camp Capone would have Blue Da Vinci back on, but this time, Blue had none other than Cuffy on the line so he could speak out for himself from prison.
But I'm in here with a 27-year sentence based on Demetrius Flannery, as you all know as Big Meech, and Tammy Cowens, known in the paperwork as CS1. So what Big Meech did was call a third-party cooperation. So Tammy Cowens signed up to be a DEA informant to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut, plain and simple.
Cuffy would start off strong, saying he's doing 27 years because of Meech, and claim Meech did what's called a third-party cooperation.
Now this
Cuffy would claim Tammy Cowens, who was already a DEA informant, cooperated against him for Big Meech's benefit. This would be backed by the paperwork that stated back in 2011, Tammy was tasked with targeting Hispanics involved in drug trafficking.
Targeting Hispanics.
She'd be spared from having to testify as they'd be sent back to Mexico. When asked if she gets something big, the DEA agent would interrupt her saying, "You'll get a lot of money." But instead, she asked to get Big Meech a time cut.
Wow.
To which the DEA agent said,
the #1 movie in America 2 weeks in a row is also the biggest movie in IMAX.
We can work on that. Cuffy discovered this through a Frank's hearing in which his legal team was able to cross-examine his accusers, including government agents and informants. Tammy would be present to testify, and these transcripts are of what she said. Fidel Suarez was Hispanic, clearly pushing drugs through his trucking operation. Cuffy wanted drugs. Meech connected them through Tammy, and Tammy sat back and watched it all unfold. But Meech would never receive the time cut because it was discovered Tammy was having sex with the DEA agent responsible for her. So in the end, Tammy's cooperation did not benefit Meech, but because of it, Cuffy's phone was wiretapped and he was taken down as a result of them finding evidence and sentenced to 27 years. Now, this is where you as a viewer have to decide as to what you believe. Tammy received the life rights to Big Meech after he was taken down by the feds. Tammy then became a DEA informant, which even the feds questioned as she didn't want or need money, wasn't a drug addict, and wasn't facing criminal charges. So what was her motive? Tammy was told she'd be targeting Hispanics and asked in return for her cooperation that Big Meech would receive a lesser sentence. She was cooperating, being paid to do so, but also doing so for Meech to benefit. When accidentally exposed as an informant through court filings mentioning her name, she panicked, running to Meech, who was in prison. Meech told her he wanted his name to stay out of it, and at that time, she recanted all statements regarding Meech, saying he had nothing to do with bringing Suarez and Cuffy together. Tammy was then exposed for having sex with a DEA agent, ruining any chances of helping Meech, and Cuffy goes down because of the wiretap brought on by Tammy. So why wouldn't Cuffy believe Meech was behind it? Tammy didn't make a move Meech didn't tell her to make. She was his assistant and trusted enough that he signed over his life rights. She only began cooperating after Meech was taken down and continued to visit him for years in prison. They remained in contact long after she informed him she was exposed as an informant, and she even went on to become a co-producer for BMF, the TV series, along with executive producer 50 Cent. The show would premiere in 2021, 2 years after Cuffy was sentenced. 50, being a chess master, was now trolling Big Meech with the...
All right. That's now goes into the documentary and stuff like that. So now, here's the thing. I didn't know it got that deep into. See, here's I didn't know that Big Meech, like she went to Big Meech and admitted, "Hey, I'm cooperating with the government," and he was still in contact. She still visited him. They're still doing business.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obvious because it came out in transcripts. Big Meech knew that. Now, did Big Meech know that she was going to ask for a time cut?
I think, of course, he did. I say yes.
You think he knew?
100%.
What's up, Ranger fan? I got some new people in there. Got a shout out.
He was
Ranger,
trying to get
to
get a reduction. He was trying to get a reduction in sentence.
What's up, my man? Well, I ain't seen you in a while. I hope you're feeling better. Thorn Blades, Matt. What's up, my man? Chicky, what's up?
Chicky, Thorn, Matt,
Ranger fan, and you see. Okay, that's everybody. Yeah. So I don't know what do you guys think in the chat here? Listen, 2 months ago when all this was coming out, and before Big Meech actually got out, when they were like, because listen, I did look up his stuff and I understand the law a little bit, and he definitely didn't get no time cuts. His sentence was only 24 years at the end of the day. He only had a 20-year mandatory minimum. He did not have a life mandatory minimum, none of that stuff. So he really did. He did his time and everything. So he didn't benefit from that. Now, that's where I was like, these people were just talking shit. But now with this girl playing into this, so what do you think about? So you think damn right he knew and he wanted that?
Yeah. I think he took a chance. It was a gamble. He was trying to do it where his fingerprints wouldn't be on it, where she would do the dirty work, and then he would reap the benefit for it. The plan fell through, and that's it. So he got caught. It comes out.
I never thought that this guy and remember, let's think of something. They were targeting Hispanics, but a black man wound up with the 27 years. Now, let me break down to you where that fell through. Now, if Meech was doing the third-party cooperation, here's probably what he's thinking. Most of the time, them Hispanic, the mules, like the Mexicans and stuff like that, that get told on and stuff, they usually, at the worst, give them 10 years, and they'll cop out.
But they also get deported too automatically if they're not citizens.
Look, so look, to my point, Big Meech is thinking like this: they're never going to go to trial. The Mexicans are never going to go to trial.
Nope.
So if he was doing it, it's never going to come out in paperwork. What he didn't plan here was for the black guy Cuffy to actually lawyer up and have Frank's hearings and things like that. And when you're fighting a case, you have a lot of motions and evidentiary hearings. Evidentiary hearings are like mini trials. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of shit comes out of them. And it seems like this guy Cuffy, that's what he did. And that's how all this dirt rolled over. But look at how the feds work. Target Spanish drug dealers. Targeting certain type of people on certain type of things. Isn't that? And then, like I said, then the black guy winds up with 27 years. Make that one make sense to me. But yeah. So if Meech was cooperating, that's why he would think it wouldn't come out, because otherwise, if you don't have them Frank's hearings and nobody fought it like that, that would have never came out. If, say, the Mexicans just got chipped off, they held them, then they deported them in a couple of years, that shit would have they're not going to go to trial.
No, it will never reach the chair. It'll never go to trial. Exactly.
Right. The only one that's to go to trial will be like El Chapo and stuff. And that's because they don't offer them a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, he tried to pull a
fella,
move.
Thank you if you sent it. I'll check.
It was
I really don't know how to check.
if it would have worked, it would have been a genius move for him. If he would have got a couple years off it worked, and he didn't cut. It didn't come out.
Now here, I'm gonna play devil's advocate though, also too.
Sure.
Big Meech already at this time, he went down in 05, and by this time, this thing with Cuffy, we're up about 19 and 2019, sometime around there. Big Meech's bid was already almost over. So
Yeah,
cooperate at that point.
Well, why not get out even earlier, especially when you see that someone
because of this.
Hold on. Now that you see that this woman took his life story and they made into this BMF, the big hit, this guy's missing out on a lot of things while he's in jail.
But now you've seen, but hold up. And yeah, you definitely can get a sentence and get deported afterwards, Matt. That's what they do a lot of times.
Yeah, they put a retainer on you. As soon as you're done your sentence, you're deported.
But
Immigration
what I'm saying though, Sailor, listen, now here's the reason why that doesn't make sense, because Meech knows that the only thing, listen, he knows he's going to live a couple more years. He knows he's going to come home. He's going to be rich. It doesn't matter. The only thing that can really hurt Meech is if it would come out that he told. And that's what's hurting him right now. So I don't see the logic in him doing that deep into his bid.
I'll play the devil's advocate on that.
Well, I have to make a decision, Sailor. I just gave two scenarios.
I got you. My scenario is he's a human being, and if he can get out a year early, a day early, a month early, he's been sitting there for a long time. The whole world's going on without him. This woman's running around, and she's sold the rights to the BMF thing. She's an executive producer. He's probably like, look, if you can get me out and it doesn't, get me out earlier and it doesn't come back on me, go ahead, give it a chance. But he did, and it failed, and now it's coming back like it always does, So.
Yeah, so I don't know though, man, because look at I don't know, man. It's like, but now if he's thinking that it is just targeting the Mexicans, and he knows the Mexicans aren't going to do these they're not going to do all the Frank's hearings and all that.
Yeah,
stuff. They're going to cop out really fast, and they're going to get out of there. And he knows that. They don't go to trial.
No.
This ain't like the mafia. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Watcher Crazy says he wanted to come home. Obviously, everybody wants to come home, though, Watcher. But I'm just saying, like, what's up, Blake? He's so far deep into his bid, and the only thing that can possibly do is hurt him. But if he thinks it's never going to come out, how could it? Because his whole life is based on being a big-time drug dealer, one of the biggest American drug dealers. That I would say he might be the biggest that I ever know of. Now, like Willie Falcone and them, they're not American drug dealers. You know what I mean? I'm talking about just your regular black guy or white guy American drug dealer. I think Big Meech might be the biggest that I know.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to figure out, Sandra, man. Like, we're trying to figure out, because now here's another thing. He might not have known. And okay, well, he did know she was cooperating or whatever, but now you got to remember, he already signed over his life rights. This chick pops up. She can ruin your life too. It's like, look, yeah, I got outed because I cooperated with the feds. He might have just been playing it cool till he got home. Yeah, all right, that's cool, man. Just try and lead that away. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah, I mean, he told her, I don't want my name in it. So, I mean, he still obviously wants to remain. He remained in contact with her. And, I mean, you were on the street, Eric. If you knew someone cooperated, are you going to maintain contact with them?
No.
But you're not, see?
But here's the deal, though. Like, she had his life rights and all that stuff. Watcher Crazy. Now, if you're talking about who are you talking about got the 50-year sentence? Because Big Meech never got 50 years. It was like 30 at first and went down to 27 to 24. But I don't know if you're talking about Big Meech, but he never had 50 years. Dizzy Hippo said Craig Pettis. Craig Pettis was there. He might be, but like the biggest one I know of, Dizzy Hippo is Meech. Because like when you hear about these other guys, like, the Supremes and the Fat Cats and them type of guys, they were only getting I'm going to answer that, Sandra, man. I actually know him. Like them guys are getting 10 bricks and stuff. You know what I mean? Like the Supremes and people like that. Meech, like I said, they were getting like 1,000. You know what I mean? They were getting shit like that. That was going. Their pipeline was bigger. Like you know, back in the day, the pipeline down here used to be New York and here. It's like a pipeline. Still is kind of. You know what I mean? We always had a good relationship with New York. But now there's hubs everywhere. You know what I mean? And Big Meech was able to supply them hubs. Yeah, he got 30 in the beginning, Watcher. Yeah, so now saying to me ask that question. He's talking about Terrence Gangster Williams. Okay, now here's his situation. Now, Terrence Gangster Williams, he was a head hitter out in New Orleans, right? You know, the Hot Boys and all that, BG.
Yeah.
That's that guy's name, Baby Gangs and all that shit. So now look, he was a real killer, all that kind of shit. Now he wound up getting life. He had around 20 in, okay? And they wanted to close up some homicides, right? Down in New Orleans. You know, they always want to clear the books, Sailor. You know that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so basically what happens, I don't know him, like we're not friends and I'm saying him, but like we've talked before. But anyway, so okay, yeah, Mike, we're about to get into that. So basically what happened was they wanted to close these cases, and he went and he told on all the cases, but everybody was dead. Like the people who did it, they were dead. So now they consider him a rat for that. Now he wound up getting out of prison. Now they consider him a rat for that. Now there's a certain way. I don't know what oath or anything he took, but I'm going to be honest with you. If I was dead and one of my friends got jammed up and could tell them something I did, I would want them to, because it can't affect me.
I mean, if I was dead and you were rotten, I'm just saying, like if I had a friend who was rotten in prison and I was out, but we did dirt together and I died, I'd be like, yeah, put it all on me, bro. I don't give a shit. Get out.
Yeah, I mean, so like there's but now once again we get into the certain rules of what you're a part of, because now I don't know if they were in a gang. I don't know what their oaths they taken and stuff like that. So like, and he comes out, you know, you got to look at it now. They're also saying he told on other stuff, but they can't prove that he told on other stuff. So I'm saying this: if he told on just the dead people, I mean, what's he supposed to do? Sitting there for the rest? I mean, I don't know, man. Whatever oath or whatever these people take, like just like the mob, you know, some of them people say you can't take a plea deal. It's just weird, you know.
Yeah. Hey, look, you know, here's the thing. It's not like I think he's going to get out after doing all that time and go back into that lifestyle. I mean, if he does, he's an idiot. But you know,
real quick, Sailor. No, Matt. What brought him from 27 to 24 was the First Step Act. They calculated all his stuff and all that from over the time it was supposed to be enacted, and that's how he went down there. So no, it wasn't third-party cooperation. Yeah. So what were you saying, Sailor?
No, I just, you know, you were showing on the video, if you recall earlier, you see these guys, they're hardcore, they're gangster with the champagne, the guns, the gold chains, and then all of a sudden the guy goes to jail and he's crying about getting 5 years on the witness stand. That's I've seen a lot of that, and I know you have too, Eric. You know,
I have.
Yeah, me too.
What's up, Joy Boy? What did you say? Somebody was talking. Who? You like my channel for real, but some dude MRR yesterday talking bullshit on the show. On here
MRR.
Or on their show? I don't care what them people say on their show, Joy Boy. You're welcome over here. We just do different things. We don't worry about all that other nonsense. We'll talk about it, but we don't get involved in it. It's just
we're not going to bring the baggage in here. So just come in and enjoy the show. Yeah,
Matt. So technically he ratted, but so we know his story though. But what if this Big Meech shit? What do you think about Big Meech, Matt? What do you think? Because what's up, my man? The Truth. Watcher Crazy is looking for a date.
The only cautionary tale in that Big Meech story is don't trust a woman like that.
Yeah, and don't. There is dirty feds.
Please.
Dirty feds out there, like people.
Yeah, a bunch of them just got fired too recently.
Right, and you see how
more to come.
Just like in this situation here, like he's sleeping with the informant. That's one thing, and then you turn around though, and my thing about it is like you're targeting motherfucking whatchamacallit. You're targeting a specific race.
Yeah, he's trying to jam up. Got people with immigration issues. That way, it's easier. The case won't see the light of day. They'll cop a plea and then they'll be deported. It's like the perfect victim.
Yeah, because they do cop out. They're not going to go to trial. You're absolutely
yeah, and then they have an immigration.
The irony of it, though, the black man wound up getting 27 years.
Well, hey, look, things don't always go according to plan, and yeah, it is what it is. But someone did go to jail for it. They targeted him. They sucked him in like a Thanksgiving turkey. That lady, and who knows? She was probably banging him too. That lady probably banged everybody in that whole crew.
Yeah, and if she
to include the DEA.
It seems like this though. And here's another thing that goes against Big Meech here. If she was really in love with Meech, which it seems like she was, she don't want to hurt him. I think that she would tell him everything she was doing. You understand?
Of course. I would think so. I mean,
if a woman's ever been in love with you, they tell you everything. You know what I'm saying?
Time out. There's nothing more of a show of trust to a partner, a woman, a man. You sign over the rights to your life story to them.
Yeah.
Now that's trust.
Yeah.
So you're telling me?
I just answered that. His went from 30. His went from 30 to 27 under some other shit, and everything he did was legit. He never got no time reduction for any type of cooperation. So there's not that in his paperwork. Nowhere in his paperwork. But in this other paperwork, that's where all this is coming into play. So his paperwork, he never got But now there is guys sitting in prison doing life who, if you look them up on a computer, they actually told. But they wound up getting life because what they did was they told they couldn't get a deal with the feds or whatever. That they say the feds might offer them 25, so they said fuck it, and they went to trial and lost and get life.
Yeah, and blue trial. Yeah,
you know what I mean. They didn't get a deal, but they definitely told. But they're sitting there with life.
Yep. Well, your lawyer. Who's your lawyer? Who makes the deal? The timing. I mean, a whole bunch of things come into play. What you got to give them? Meech tried being slick and got caught. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, the man agrees with you.
Yeah.
Damn. So it's a lot, man. It's a whole lot to that shit, man.
Well, that Tammy Cohen, she really gets around. She must have some good stuff to make a man sign his life story over to her, and the DEA agent.
But what's weird now? Hang on. What's weird now? She's turning on Meech.
Yeah, of course she's gonna. Of course. She's got executive producer rights.
Those life rights, and that's true.
She owns his life. She owns him. She owns his life story. She's on that. She's an executive producer. 50 Cent made her. She don't need him anymore. Okay, she don't need him. Tammy gets around. For an FBI agent, or excuse me, DEA agent. Now, unfortunately, it actually happens a lot. If you really do research about cops, they sleep with a lot of their confidential informants. And I think if a cop does that on the job, you're getting paid by the taxpayers, and now you're sleeping with a confidential informant, you're corrupting the case, you should be fired immediately. That is a terrible breach of conduct for a law enforcement officer. And they're supposed to be held to a higher standard. And that DEA guy should have been fucking fired. But he probably wasn't. He might have been suspended a day or two. But he's back working again. They rarely punish them for that kind of misconduct, and it's very unfortunate, in my opinion, because that's like a predator. You're preying on confidential informants to sleep with them. It's bad enough you're getting them to turn on people that they love and their family members, but now you want to try to compromise the woman in a state of vulnerability to sleep with her. That's so. They should be fired for that immediately. So. Meech took a gamble and he lost. He was trying to do it in the slick way. If I can get some more time, chipped off of my sentence, have Tammy go out there, bang the DEA guy, set up all these immigrants, illegal immigrants, jam them up so they'll never go to trial. They're like the perfect victims. He took a chance, he gambled, and he lost. That's what I think about Meech.
it's going to be crazy though, because 50 Cent, he don't give up.
No.
He's always they're on paper automatically. Listen, watch her crazy. If you've been sentenced this day and age, they sentence you automatically. You get 2 sentences if you go to federal prison. You get it's called supervised release. So you'll get like say 20 years plus 5 years supervised release. Stuff like that. So they're always going to come out.
It's all factored into your sentence now.
Nothing is the people under that old law who mandatory out there parole. But you don't see
or you do occasionally because they break it up with time in prison, halfway house, supervised release. And you have some people, like I knew some guys that just straight up refused halfway house and just EOS.
Refuse the halfway house because they're scared of getting killed a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get killed at. Yeah, state of Texas is different. Watch her crazy. They got a lot of. That's a hard state to do time in, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
that's a hard state.
One of the lieutenants I had,
you guys over from the other community or whatever. Like, if you guys have problems with people over there, like Jim or anything like it, please don't be over here in my chat talking about what's going on and trying to say this and that, because we don't do that over here. Like, we don't. This isn't like a platform for that. You know what I mean?
We're trying to. We gotta
the show, but I'm just letting you guys know, because I just don't get into all that, because I don't want people spreading stuff on people in my chat. Thank you, Watcher Crazy. I know you do. Yeah, but
we're just trying to keep everybody on topic here. Our topic of the show is this, and we don't want to get derailed into other bullshit that we don't.
Well, I talk about in the future also, because you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want misinformation getting out in your chat.
Exactly.
Or even if it's a real, who knows? You can't make a decision on it while it's going on in your chat. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
Hey, what's up, Alex?
Alex,
Canada. Yeah, but so I don't know, man. It just seems like it doesn't look too good for Big Meech.
No. And 50 Cent, he's like a dog with a bone. He gets it. That's it, and he's going to get to the, and he's exposing them.
Here's the problem with this. Why did Big Meech, why would he go with Rick Ross when he must not have studied 50 Cent, knows how 50 Cent is.
Well, he's been out of the loop for a while. He's been in prison.
I don't know, man. Or like his son.
Hey, look, bro.
His son said that he needed money.
I got you. You and I both know when you're in prison and you're not out here in the real world, sometimes you lose instincts like that. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been in the street. So I think he came home. He was desperate. He needed money. And he ran to anybody. Look, we have a saying in the Navy, any port in a storm. If there's a storm, go to any port, because you're safe in any port, regardless of it. So he was in a storm. He needed money, just got out of jail. That Tammy lady fucking, she's making money off his name. And he said, all right, let me run over to Rick Ross. And once he went there, that was it.
But here's the thing that's crazy. And this is why I say over here, what's up, Street News? This is a question for you, Stone Sailor. But
does a canine handler know Dave Baker of Morse, New Jersey? He was the first canine handler after being in Vietnam. He was probably an Army dog handler. And yes, in Morristown, we have the United States. I think it's in Morristown, if I'm not mistaken. It's in New Jersey, United States War Dog Association Memorial. And I'm a member of that. And if he was killed in Vietnam, then his name would be on that memorial. But yeah, that name sounds familiar. It really does. Because I'm a member of the association, the USA War Dogs. And I have all the KIA guys, handlers that were killed and dogs that were killed. So yeah, that's probably who that guy is. He was an Army guy, if I'm not mistaken. Rings a bell.
Yeah, but like I was saying earlier, okay, with Big Meech needing money when he comes home, look, and what people think is that he was broke, like how, regular people get broke. But no, it's everybody has problems. And no matter what level you're on, everybody always seems to live above their means and have problems. Because look, Big Meech came home pretty much set up. He came home a lot better than people I know coming home, and they seem to.
Sure.
The whole time he was locked up, he had the 900,000 on his books or whatever it is you're allowed to have. He had that because you couldn't send him no money. You know, so I guess he came home and he don't understand inflation, or he just started spending like he still had all them bricks coming in and just went broke real quick. Cause he definitely had money from the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that happens at all levels. It happens to all of us.
Does.
Especially people from the streets. Especially people that we don't have an education and stuff like that. Like
you don't have that constant revenue stream coming in all the time from the drugs. Easy come, easy go. And you get used to your spending habits, and you're spending $10,000 a month and you only make $5,000. So you go broke. I mean, that's how it happens. Simple.
It happens to a lot of loan officers. Loan officers are famous for that because they'll have streaks where they'll fucking go up. The rates will drop, so it'll be easy. Everybody's refinancing, so they might make $500,000 this year. All of a sudden, they're fucking got this huge house, all these cars, all this shit. Next thing you know, the next year the rates go up. Nobody's doing
not so good.
Now they make $200,000, but they got fucking $400,000 in bills.
Yep, that's it. That's how it creeps up on you. You got to live within your means.
That's a good point. That's it. Yeah, the streets don't love you back. Jeezy should have had a bag of money from Meech, and that's the truth because they came up off his name. Yeah, Meech did. Everybody look, but Sam the Man, everybody wants to be part of the party when it's going on.
Absolutely.
That's another thing too, Alex. Could have made some bad investments, and like people don't pay attention. A lot of these guys do invest in a lot of shit. Like Nas is now a billionaire, and people are like, "Well, bullshit." It's not from his music. He invested in Lyft. He owns most of Lyft. You know what I mean? People don't realize other people do. Like Alex is saying, make investments. Some of them go bad.
Yeah.
But I think Meech more of a situation is he's just got to keep up with the Joneses because he's been that dude. What he's not realizing is, bro, you already put your work in. You already proved you were that dude. Just lay back and relax, man.
Yeah, I would think so. You would think you'd want to relax after doing all that time. Well, I mean, he's probably, like I said, he needs the money, so he's going out there trying to make money off his name. I don't. That woman owns the life rights. Owns his life rights, bro.
Right, and now she's beefing with him. It seems like, but Sam, Southwest T is actually who got him caught though, because he got caught talking on the wiretap. They were beefing. There was two different factions that they were beefing because Southwest T wasn't cutting his coke, so they would call that Cristal. And they would make fun of Meech's shit and call it Moet because Meech was probably putting an eighth of key on every key. You know what I mean? I didn't know that, Dizzy Hippo. So he's into Coinbase and all that? Yeah. So, yeah.
He's an early investor of that. See, yeah, he's smart. Some of these guys put their money in good things, and if you're smart, and you have your wits about you, and you realize it's not going to last forever. And smart people know you should use your money should be making money for you. You shouldn't be spending all of it. So they know that.
Alex said, did Meech go home to Detroit? No, I think he's down there in Atlanta, one of the type of places. You know what I mean? He's from Detroit, but he was big down south, Atlanta and all them areas. He's big everywhere. BMF was big. They were pushing coke all over the United States. Now you do got them guys like back in the day, Willie Falcone, and then and he's home now. I mean, them motherfuckers were making the real money. They were billionaires back then.
And another thing a lot of these big time drug dealers didn't realize, they got to pay taxes. A lot of them never pay taxes, and they don't know how to.
They just said hiding from the
okay.
IRS.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they'll hit you. Listen, they'll even hit smaller people, man. I've been hit with capital gains and everything before because if you're doing anything legitimate, and there's
absolutely, absolutely.
And I didn't have no type of money like them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like on certain things. Yeah, they were definitely beefing, Sam the Man. But I think they wouldn't kill each other, but like I forget what crew ran down the other crew. They pulled guns and everything on each other. The brothers, different crews. And that was it was a lot of when you're dealing in that many bricks and that many people, you know how many people are stealing, you know how many people are doing. I mean, that's everybody's scraping,
everyone's taking their little cut.
Yeah, it gets ugly, man, especially because it's not as controlled over here. Like I told you, like when it's coming over, they got the bricks, they got holes in the side of them. You know what I mean? So the Mexicans, they're on it. They're testing and making sure nobody's doing that. They don't do that over here. So you got it sits over here, boom, it just goes out. Next thing you know, it's all chopped up, everything. Yeah, watch her crazy. I did altogether, I did 15 and a half years in the feds, and I did 6 years in the state. So yeah, so it had like, think about what I'm saying. Listen, I know on smaller levels, okay, of the headaches when too many hands touch the pot. I know that on smaller levels and the thievery and all that stuff. Imagine that on thousands of kilos.
Yeah.
And these are motherfuckers from the hood that most of the people that fucking listen, their lights weren't on last month. All of a sudden,
and now they're rich. They're
You know?
rich. They have a closet full of cash. They can get whatever they want. I mean, mama, they could stock the fridge. They could send her to the dentist, get her tooth. Anything they want now they have. They were dead broke 24 hours ago, and now they're instant millionaires. And I don't care who you are, whether you're to an 18, 19-year-old kid, a 17-year-old kid, that'll fuck you up. You know, that'll fuck you up. Would have fucked me up too if I was 18 with like $5 million. I would have went nuts myself.
Yeah, Sam,
I'm glad I never had it.
You're talking about William Marshall or whatever. He wound up telling, but yeah, he did get him popped. But this was such a huge case. The way they got the wiretap, which is the most important thing, that's a Title III. Trust me, I know about them. And getting that Title III is the big thing. And that's who fucked up on the Title III was Terry. That's the big evidence, the wiretaps. So yeah, what's Slaw saying? Terry was basing his operation out of LA. Yeah, I remember that. Trying to lay low, but he had to run his mouth. Meech was bringing so much heat. Yeah, and that's the crazy part, because Meech was the one out there, but Terry's the one that got him popped. That's the crazy part. That is the crazy
Look, Terry got how much? 27 years, and he's 50 something. That's like a life sentence to that guy.
No, he's talking about his brother, Southwest T.
No, but I'm saying the guy that got. I know they were the guy that ended up.
Cuffy. This last guy is
Cuffy. Now he's like what, 50-some years old, and he got how much in prison? 27.
Yeah.
That's a life sentence for that guy. He's going to be in his 70s when he gets out. If he lives that long.
Yeah, I mean,
by the time he walks out of prison, he's going to be probably but you know how sick you get in there from that food if you're not eating good? That food in prison will kill you. If you're eating the institutional food, you will die.
Yeah, and it's getting worse, and it's just getting worse.
You will get cancer. Like, that's how they get that you'll get cancer easy eating that shit. Especially
Alex,
for 10 and 15 and 20 years.
It's based on their real shit. Alex, I don't know if everything's true. No, you're never going to get 100% accuracy in any movie or nothing. You know,
it's all Hollywood. It's Hollywood, man. They have artistic license, they call it.
That's just like even Angel said that. Like even with the stuff with her family and stuff, even the ones that her brother did, that still wasn't accurate. Even though it's closer, but it's still, they don't do it accurate. They'll never will.
Yeah.
And greed will get you every time, Bella. Yeah, they're both out. They're both out, Sloth.
Sloth Bernstein.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Dizzy Hippo. I 100% agree with you. And you know what? It might have been a blessing they got popped at that time, because you never know if down the road they would have caught some bodies or something like that. And really,
yeah, you're always going to get popped. So you're always going to get caught.
Yeah, especially at that level. You know what I mean? But yeah, he was putting a lot of money into his videos and stuff like that. He only had the one artist, Blue Da Vinci. So he was spending out of his own pocket. And when you're using your own dough, man, that shit gets hectic too. You know, whether you're doing anything, whether you're doing small flips, anything like that, you know. I want to talk a little bit this week coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about like doing appraisals and about how when these rates drop, how a good thing to get into is mortgages, because there's going to be a lot of money floating around. I want to do that in a couple of days, Sailor. And
okay, sounds good.
I've been working on the Jonathan Luna thing, catching up with some people who are around, so I'll be ready to put that content out any day now too. But
all right,
yeah. So guys, I'm gonna wrap the show up. Thank everybody for coming in, and you know, come back. You know, let people know whatever. Like I said, everybody's welcome over here, but just we're not gonna have all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Thank everybody for coming in. I'll see you guys later.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Hit the like button.
Hit that like button. Yeah.